Well, hi, I'm Laura and welcome to the channel. Well, today's question, do you think the Mean Girls disappeared after high school? Well, if you do, think again. They're alive and well, and sometimes they're running the meetings, the committees, the company, or even a social group that you belong to. They use charm when it benefits them and cruelty when it gives them power. So today we're breaking down exactly how to spot them and more importantly, how to stand up to them. And I'm going to share a little bit of my own experience because wow, did I know a mean girl. So let's get into it. Well, I've shared with many of you that I was on city council and mayor in my city for a very long time. So I had the opportunity to meet some mean girls. But what fascinated me was they never seem to go away. They don't graduate. They don't retire and they definitely don't mellow with age. So whether it's in your community or your church group, maybe a volunteer organization that you belong to, maybe it's even your workplace, there's always that one woman. You know, maybe it's even a small circle that thrives on intimidation and control. And let's be clear, these women are not just loud and opinionated. They are intentionally mean. They can turn on the charm when it suits them, but when they want power, wow, they can be downright ruthless. They're cruel and friendship has zero value to them. I've known them and they're selfish. They only care about what others can do for them. The meanest woman I know is, for lack of a better word, a fraud, because at the end of the day, she's honestly very insecure and jealous of other women. But if you felt your stomach drop when you see someone walk into the room, or you stayed quiet because you didn't want to be their next target, well, then you know exactly what I mean. These women capitalize on your fear. They usually don't handle things themselves. That's why they don't have to be loud and proud. They surround themselves with what we call flying monkeys who carry out their cruelty and react to their displeasure. Being confident, being ambitious, being outspoken, that's not mean. We should celebrate those qualities in women. But mean girls, she's different because her cruelty has intention. She's calculated. She uses her position, whether it's social, professional, community, political, to elevate herself by cutting others down. And she's willing to do it very publicly. She knows how to play to an audience. And honestly, she can be super sugar sweet when she needs something and sharp as a knife when she doesn't. And she knows that women, and men too, hate conflict. So she bullies them into submission. And as we get older, we all value our peace more, right? We want our connections to be easy. We're not looking to create drama. And we sure don't want to be the target of it. And that's what the mean girl counts on. She counts on you just saying yes and giving in. She knows the worst thing for many of us, at this age especially, is to have our reputation damaged, to know that people are talking badly about us behind our back. And she knows if she turns others against us or against our business, against our friendships, even against our family, she can cause a lot of problems, a lot of hurt. And that fear is her favorite weapon. We've all had that one friendship or relationship in our life, whether we were 15, whether we were 50, maybe it's happening to you now, but you got involved with a mean girl. Maybe you got involved with a mean group. I've shared before that I'm still paying for someone I was very close friends with for over a decade. And I still can't make hide nor hair of her anger. But it's interesting, knowing her past, she carried that with her. And I think a lot of mean girls bring past hurt with them. And they don't know how to act any different. And they don't know how to distinguish when someone truly is a friend, when someone shares life's moments with them, when they're there for each other, when they go through good times and horrible times and family stress and family drama and children stress, children drama, you name it. There are people that we meet in our life that make it to that level. And when you discover that you're involved with a mean girl, and it usually shows up because they either start bullying you, they start getting very short and terse if you're not in agreement with them on whatever the issue is. But for me, I started noticing how she spoke to other people. And I can say it now because she hasn't changed at all. So that's why I believe once a mean girl, always a mean girl. And unfortunately, you'll find mean women running volunteer committees like it's their personal fiefdom. I see that a lot in HOAs, in social groups, online and in person, in your book club, or even church circles, unfortunately. And yes, even in friend groups, quietly controlling the dynamic, like in The Wizard of Oz, who's the man behind the curtain? And because they often hold influence, they can make you feel isolated and quite honestly scared to push back. The problem then becomes when we don't call it out, the mean girl wins. And that's what she's banking on. And the cost isn't just personal. It's bigger than that, right? It crushes your trust and your morale because these women often demand that you kiss the ring. They demand that you do things you don't want to do. They can't just let it go. They discourage other women from stepping up because if you're not the chosen one, you're too afraid. It can hurt businesses. It can hurt friendships. It can damage communities. And worst of all, it teaches the next generation that this behavior is normal. And I'll tell you, sometimes these women are polished, professional. Sometimes they're even admired in certain circles. But their power only exists because people believe they can't be challenged. Quite honestly, they're afraid to challenge them. And that's the myth that we need to break. So, how do you handle them, especially when you're worried about your reputation or worse, your livelihood? Well, the good news is that standing up doesn't always mean a knockdown, drag out, screaming match or a big public showdown. It's about smart boundaries and about having a strategy. So, number one, name it. That woman is a cruel bully. So you know in your head, because the first step is to recognize that it isn't you being too sensitive. This is someone using power to intimidate. Step two, don't play their game. Don't lower yourself because mean women bullies thrive on reaction. So stay calm, keep your voice even, your words short. My motto is keep it classy because they rarely do. Step number three, document everything. If this is at work, a committee, or anywhere formal, keep notes, dates, times, details, and save those text messages. I did. Facts are your best ally. Step four, speaking of allies, find allies. You're rarely the only one that feels the same way. So have quiet conversations and you'll find out that there's a pattern. And once you find others, you realize there's strength in numbers. Step five, set boundaries. Sometimes it's a simple, firm sentence. That doesn't work for me. Or I won't be spoken to like that. Short, clear, done, move on. Step number 6, know when to escalate, right? If the behavior crosses the line into harassment or damage, especially to your business, take it to the next level and bring your documentation. Often if you show them what you've got, they'll back off. Number 7, protect your peace. Sometimes the smartest move is to back away because not every battle is worth your energy and not all of us are up to it. Sometimes it's just best to bide your time because the opportunity will present itself. What's the saying? Karma is a you know what? Standing up to them doesn't mean matching their meanness, although they will say you're being mean. It shows that you're not intimidated. And often, quite honestly, the bully backs down when she realizes you're not afraid. So here's what I would ask you to remember. Mean women may be loud, but they are not unstoppable. They count on our silence. They count on our fear. They count on us being classier than they are. But we're at the stage in our life where we know better because we've lived enough to spot them and to call them out when the time is right. Don't accept cruelty as normal because it's not. Whether you calmly call it out, gather support, or walk away from the toxic person, the toxic circle, you're choosing yourself. And that is very, very powerful. So the next time you see that mean girl in your life, whether she's 18, 48, 58, or 78, remember this. She's not a queen bee. She's just someone who learned probably early in her life that fear gets results. And honestly, she's someone who should be pitied. I know the mean woman that I got involved with in my life, and it's been a while. We haven't been friends for a long time, maybe longer, maybe more time has passed than when we were actually friends, but she treats others the same exact way. It's a pattern. It's almost a love bombing ritual that you are wonderful, you are good, you are kind. And once she reels you in, then she starts to abuse you and she starts to abuse other people. And I'll be honest, mean girls generally surround themselves with women who are going through difficult times, who maybe aren't 100%, or they cling on to you because of a shared, anger over something or a shared goal. It's usually them wanting something and them needing you to support them. But it's interesting how they operate. And so you have to be really aware and make sure you see the signs because it's very easy to get involved with a mean girl. They don't show us they're mean right away. That would be crazy. They usually have ulterior motives and you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. I've shared with you before that I wrote my book, Where the Mean Girls Go, in large part because of this really awful woman that I got involved with. And I call it Where the Mean Girls Go, the complicated and hurtful relationships between women. So if you want it, you can jump on Amazon and make sure that you don't have any of those mean women in your life. And if you do, there are lots of great ideas for how to handle them. Well, if this spoke to you, I hope you'll share it with a friend who needs to hear it. And please share in the comments, have you dealt with a mean girl lately or maybe sometime in your past? How did you handle it? Let's get a conversation started. We've all known them. We've all had to hide from them or learn to get along with them. And I'd love to hear how you did it. Take care. See you next time on the channel. Bye-bye.